jackets, they would report it, and there's nothing I could do about it. I would have to get a beekeeper to come out, and then you're talking about $800 to $1,000. So
Yeah, I got a good deal then.
yeah, a can of spray. Now, we won't let this get out though. I've already started the recording, so I don't know if I should cut that. Okay, let's go ahead.
Too late for the bees anyway.
Yeah. Well, hopefully some of them. Let's just say that some of them escaped and started a new colony somewhere. All right. Let's hit this golden slippers, and after I do that, Gordy had a request to hear my take on like Blue Ridge Mountain Blues and double stops, and I think it was Tennessee Waltz. So we'll do that. And I thought everyone was here for a second there. Good to see Ron and Aaron. Okay, so let's do this golden slippers the 2 times through, like we have been, but we'll just kind of blow through it. I don't know that we have to go any faster than that. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Is this too fast for anyone? Cut. Okay. Was anyone with me at that speed? I thought it was going pretty quick. Anyone there? I had 1, 2. Okay, good. It didn't have 3. It didn't have to be great. It never has to be great. You don't expect perfection on something unless you've had it for a long, long time. Okay, so let's talk about the, I think it was Tennessee Waltz, right? Was that right, Gordy? Unless I look back at your email. Let's see here. Where is it now? You have time tonight for you to play the double stop version of Tennessee Waltz and Blue Ridge Mountain Blues. Okay. The thing with the Tennessee Waltz is you have to where it goes. That has to change to. I keep my second finger down all the time, so that has to change to the 7 and 8. Okay. That's it, and then you're still going to go into your C stuff. So here we go. Let me run it one time. Okay. 12, 12, 10, 11, 8, 9, 5, 5. Now I can go 5, 7, 7. And then I have to go into 7, 8. So in that part, the only one position that's different is this one. And you know, you can hear that I skipped a couple words of the melody, but I worked around them. That's accurate there. Here it's not. I'm not going to the... Let's see. Well, it would be right there if I wanted to do it. These are still the same ones that you've been using, except for the one right there. Okay. Here's where I remember the night. 12-12. Let's see. Let me see what is that. Well, that's not that hard. It's the same as what we had. The difference, though, is it's off the G chord here. It goes from G to B to C to G. So it's G. I went to here. That's because here, if I hold a D7 right there, that's my B7 chord. Okay? D, D sharp, D7, right? It's a 7 all the way up. D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B. So I can go from 12-12 to a 10-11 to 8-9, 5-5, 8-9, 3-4. And then it's like what we did before. I think you'll be able to find that off of that. Okay, on Blue Ridge Mountain Blues. When I was young and you loved me, so the only one that's off of the second and third string is this 2-4, which we did in Golden Slippers. Okay? Now I'm on the D chord. So here's my D stuff. D. Now I don't know about the second part. See, so I had to get away from the melody and actually just play around with the chords. I've got them Blue Ridge Mountain Blues, and I'll stand right here and say my grip is packed to travel, and I'll soon be scratching gravel on them. That's an A minor. Soon be scratching gravel on that Blue Ridge far away. So it's... There's going to my D. So this is all G. D. This is all D stuff. depends on how you want to run the melody. This is just play around the G and the A minor. You could do that. G. This is working in the G scale. When I go to here, there's the A minor, right? Here's your D. So you can find it in there. And you just have to play around with it and make it, call it artistic licensing. Okay? Does that help you out there, Gordy? Let me know how that turns out. All right, down yonder. Let's go ahead and double stop that puppy out there, and then we'll. Okay, good. And then we'll add in the second time through. We'll stick those in there. Let me crank this up while you're getting ready. It says right. There's one. Yeah, I scorched my fingers on that last stuff. Maybe that's just a COVID test to see if I'm going to if I wash that out of my hands when I get done here. Okay, here we go. Is this too fast for anyone? Throw a hand up if that's too fast. All right, let's take it right there. Man, I got a wild bunch with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Play the chords, okay? You hit it freestyle. Switch, you're going to play the chords now, okay? right, you're going to take it one last time. Here we go. I like leaving the last note, that last strum ringing out just like we did it on a CD. So that was many, many times through there. What I'm suggesting is that you start at the beginning of this YouTube video and you use this as a practice session, because we'll go through everything a bunch of times. And we went through that 5 times through, which is the minimum you'd want to play it, particularly for anyone. You know, 4 times through is probably about enough, you know. But we hit it 5 times. So was anyone with me at the end there, getting through that? Good. I've got a couple in there at the end. Well, as long as you sound good when you finish, Rich, that's what's important. Yeah. You know, and I tell people that all the time, is that, you know, if you're like people that are trying to figure out what the chords to a song is, you know, as long as you sound good right there at the end, you know the chord's going to probably be whatever key they hollered out for the song. So just sound good at the end. That's what counts. Okay, let's try this Angelina Baker. Any questions on this one before we hit it? Just throw a hand up. We'll open up your mic. Alrighty. Straight melody first, strum to the chord second, third time through with the trills, the hammer-on pull-offs. Triplets. I don't know what I'd call them, if I call them triplets or trills, but Norman Blake just calls them pretties. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Strum to the melody on those several measures. Okay, trills. pick it up a little bit, but let's just play the straight melody. 2, ready, go. If you can get those in, do it. One more time. Okay, was anyone with me at that last speed? That was fast. I got 1 in. 2, good for you guys. 3, I guess you were there then. Were you on that fast speed? Were you able to smack that chord in like I was doing? Let me throw your hands down first. Were you able to pop that chord in, or because you probably played the straight melody? Gordy did. Yeah, so just doing the was good enough. But if you've practiced up on the strum part to add that in, that's good. That's really good too. I bet you've impressed your significant others with that one. Okay, we got Soldier's Joy coming up. Now, let's not forget. Okay. Let's see. Now, hopefully some of you have just changed it into into adding in all that. I'll play it the way we have it written here, and then when we do the second part, drop it an octave lower the second time. If you can. If you can't, then that's what you're going to work on. But I'm going to play it that way all the time. Okay, and we're at 24 minutes and 40 seconds. Let's take it around that speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Pretty quick. An octave. Hold it here. I'm guessing that I lost a few of you on that second part. Throw a hand up if you fell apart on that. That's what I thought. Boom! They all went up at the same time. Okay, so I figured because it was a jump and it was new, I figured these boys aren't going to make it here. All right, so let's take the second part in here, and then we'll do the jump an octave lower. And then still, if that ends up being too fast, just throw a hand up so I know. 1, 2, ready, go. Let's go back to the top. Back to the top. I got the chords. Second part. Okay, let's switch. You got the chords. Take it away. Last time through. Okay. How'd we do on that? I mean, we played through it a bunch. Using the our number system, we just chatted in. 1 stinks and 5 is the best it could possibly be, and 3's in the middle, so you know where 2 and 4 is. Where are you on that one? Right down the middle. Good. That's that's kind of where we would expect it. There was one thing I wanted to mention on here. Something that we're going to start moving into is playing out of chord shapes. It's a logical thing. If you can play this out of a C chord, then it's logical to say that if you found another C chord, you could play that out of that C chord. So here's your next C chord. And your next C chord from here, does anyone know where that's going to be? Well, not the next one. Yeah, we could use the next one. Where would the next C? You know, you got like 4 C chords that we use. Does anyone have an idea on that? Where it would be? It's going to be on what fret looking like what chord. That would be the way to answer that one. But you guys may not know. 5th fret A, right? And the 8th fret F. Those are your 2 next ones. You got a 5th fret A chord. So here's your A back here. Long A sharp, B, C. So there you have that one. And this chord is sharing these 2 string, well, actually these 3 string notes with this one. Because a lot of people play it like that, right? So I can hold it with 1 finger. But the point being is that this is shared between these 2. Okay, so you have this C first, which is really like a D shape back here, right? You got these 2 opens and then this one, but we're holding it this way. So you got this one, then you got this one, which is really this one, which is really, you know, if you're going to go all the way with it, is this one, right? And then you have this one. This one is the A shape, but the A shape, if I move it back 1 fret, it's A flat. If I move it back 1 more, it's G. So this A shape that we're playing here is really coming from G. So this A shape here is the G, and to stretch the chord all the way across there, you would try to play a G chord here at the 8th fret, and then your bar is going to be 2 frets before it, just like it is with G. You got this open fret, then you got the nut. So here's your G up high at the 8th fret, and then G shape, and then your bar is going to go 2 frets before it. So that's a chord that you would never hold comfortably unless someone had a gun to your head. So you would hold the high part of it, or you could hold the low part of it, but you wouldn't hold the whole thing. But it's not necessarily holding it, but it's just recognizing the shape. So the reason I say that is because you can play your melody right here out of this chord. But now you got to jump up to this high note, ding, ding, right? But everything is played out of the chords. I mean, even not just this melody, but even the other things. All melody is played with the root chord behind it. So if I did this, I'm still playing out of C. That's C stuff. I still see this in the middle of it, and I'm going for that high note. Okay? It's the high part of this A chord, A shape, or it's the high part of this F shape. Okay? So you can try to find that here. And then this last one goes too high. You can find it, but I would just go back here. Okay? But you can find it out of your chord shape. Now it's in this chord shape, so it means it has to be in this chord shape too. There I was hitting the first note on the 2nd string, 8, because that's part of the chord shape. See, Rich, this is skipping several chapters to the big picture. The big picture is applying logic to what you're doing. And see, now that you've been exposed to that kind of logic, if I can play it out of a chord here, I can find the same chord somewhere else on the neck and play it out of the chord. Then it's applying it. So here it is in this A. Not my favorite place to do it. And you would actually not bar right there. And then the next one is out of here. I jump back to here, what chord goes in the background right there, right at that one spot? Da, 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 da. What chord's in the background? I'll forget where I am quick. Okay, G. Let's just call it G. Here's my G right here. That's the note I hit, but it's right under the G chord. Okay? I could have gone to G7. Doesn't really matter. That note is still there. If I'm just looking at where the melody is, it's still in the G chord. That's the logic behind going to that area. Okay, so it was right here. Now that run, you can find in the chord, but it's not as visible, you know. But I either came here to this C area and found the notes, or I came here to this C area. Was anyone in the intermediate advanced class I did over the weekend? Because we talked a lot about this stuff. Ron was. Okay, so you see where I'm coming from on this one, right, Ron? So now, and then, you know, I offered this class up again, thinking of just the few people that didn't get in it would get in the next, you know, if I offered it again. So I set it up for Friday, and it filled up today. Here's one day. I advertised it last night. It filled up today. There's also, I'm doing a swing rhythm class, and some of you might have got into the swing rhythm class, but if you did not and you still want to, I've got that coming up on Friday as well. Okay, so anyway, I just wanted to kind of point that out. If we see, Arkansas Traveler's another one you can do that with. You're basically playing it out of the chords, but it's a real cool thing. And when you get the hang of it, the whole fingerboard's yours. So say I'm playing that with someone, and they say, "Well, I only do it in D. I don't know how to do it at a C, and I don't have a capo." There, C, C sharp, D. Now here I'd have to come up with it. You know, I play it out of my head anyway, so I had to come up with any kind of lick. There's my D. C was here. C, C sharp, D. Okay, we better keep going. Let's hit this Arkansas Traveler. Okay, do you want to hit? You guys worked on that jumping lick. That it's supposed to sound like that. Is anyone sounding like that? I wouldn't think so after this short amount of time. But that's what you want to do. If you're not able to do it at that speed, the main part for you is to get the the middle of the second measure to right there. Just get used to the jump. Once you do that, then you can put the rest of it together. In fact, I just did the second and third measure. That's the practice. Look, Ma, no looking. Because you just get used to where your hand has to pivot to and pull back to. Okay, so that being said, let's move on because we're going to run late here. Arkansas Traveler. Let's see if we did it here. Is this too fast for anyone? Throw up a hand if this is too fast. Okay. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay. Throw a hand up if you're able to get through that with me. Okay, I had a couple of you. So let's look at this. Y16. Y16. Let me open up your mic, Aaron. I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me. And you're muted on your side. Yeah. Got you. No. You're muted now. There you go.
Why is that an F6 in measure 9 after the C rather than a full F?
In measure 9.
Yeah.
Oh, is that
F, and
that?
that
Oh,
strum is like an F6.
yeah. Actually, okay. Let me show you what goes on there. I'll do this quick because I don't want to run out of time. If you're gonna, the old timers are just gonna play a C right there. I go this way. So I usually stick a F right there. Okay, but for what we're going to do, for the way we're going to manipulate this song now, we don't need to hold the whole F chord. If the person that's playing the rhythm for you will play the F, but in the lead part, we're not going to have to do that. So that's kind of why. If I was doing the chords on the first part, I do them this way: C, A minor, D. If I'm doing them on the second part, it's going to be C, and then you may want to write this down. Let me do it slow enough. C, F, C, G7, C, F, D7, G, C, F, C, G7, C, F, right around the circle there. So I typically do it that way. All right, so now what we're going to do on the second part is every measure, every time you have a note and then a strum after it, what I want you to do is a roll pattern for those two. We're going to do 4 eighth notes instead of the 2 quarter notes. And this is going to be like a Norman Blake kind of style. And if you hold your one finger C chord, you're going to go 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2. Okay, that's your pattern, 3, 2, 1, 2. But it could be on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. So then it would be 4, 3, 2, 3. It's straight. It's going to be wherever you're starting it at. For example, the first one is going to be 3, 2, 1, 2. Then it drops down a string. So you're going to do 3. You're going to do the 4th string because that's where the F is. It's going to be a 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3. On the G7. Now on the C, you're going to drop down to the 5th string. And it's going to be 5, 4, 3, 4. You see what I mean? So it's 3 strings, blank, 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 blank. Wherever string you're starting on, if this is the 3rd string, it's 3, 2, 1, 2. If it's on the 4th string, it's 4, 3, 2, 3. If it's on the 5th string, it's 5, 4, 3, 4. See what I mean? It's the 3 strings next to each other, all the way back, and then to the middle one. Okay? So then your part's going to sound like every time where there's the chord after a quarter note. So really, I look at it as a C suspended, not a F6. Okay? Open, 5th string, single note, single note. Okay, this last one, leave it alone, leave it alone. All right, let me run it from the top. really gets a roll going on that part. It's really nice. Any questions on that? So Aaron, see, I just didn't tell you what the big picture was, but I'm glad you brought that up because that was a good question. Great. Okay, if there's no questions there, let's leave that alone. Have you work on it. I want to jump on this Sailor's Hornpipe real quick. And that's our last one. Hopefully you guys will sign in for the 103 class. Some of you probably already did. I've been so busy with that other class that I haven't even had a chance to look or even send out plugs. It's time to sign. Time to sign up. All right, this one. Let me go over the second part because I just want to make sure we get time on the film here. Okay, the third line I think is the hardest line, but it's really the easiest. You just have to do a roll. If you were reading the notes, you would have done this. Because that's the way the notes read. When you see something like that, you say, that's kind of tough to do. There's an easier way. I know there's an easier way. So what I ended up finding on this one is if I just held my F-shaped G chord, F sharp G, then I could cross-pick the pattern out, okay? My C's right here, so I just have to hit the 5-5, right? Then it seems to be the same pattern moved up from G to A. Now the background chord says A7 and the background D7, right? We don't hold that. Okay, so it's the same thing. The hard part is getting that roll, and that's the same roll we just did with the Arkansas Traveler. 3, 2, 1, 2. It's a starting on the low string and ending on the middle of the 3, right? So I've got my second finger down. I'm just going to push it up and put my third underneath it. Then you have your up 2 frets, same thing. Push your second finger up, put your third underneath it. Now we have this long pattern run. Okay? It's a typical Popeye thing. All right, let me hit the first part, and then I want to explain that long run we just did because it's exactly the same on the second line. Okay? Now, second position because we're in G. So I'm going to start with my second finger on the G, first finger's on I'm not using my third finger there, okay? Now I'm going to shift back to catch this one bit. But as soon as I'm done with this one, I'm going to jump right back, spring right back into second position. Because I'm in G. And I'll explain this in a second. Okay? Now I'm in A. A stuff is done in second position. Check out how I'm going to shift back and forth here. Starting in second position. Shift. Shift back up. Shift. So this is a great exercise in shifting back and forth. Now, you could do it right here. But I only have 2 first frets back here. So I'm using the fingers that make it harder to play up here. I don't need to do it because I need the exercise, right? And I don't need this one to be hovering back here just waiting for its time to do something. So I shift it up. And only in the setup, you look at measure 5. I'm starting in second. Now I'm going to shift back. After I hit the last one of the C measure, I can shift up. Now I shifted early there. Now I'm in second now. I'm going to hit in the D7 measure that A on the 3rd string and shift back to first position, hit these opens, now I'm back in second. Okay? The reason for that is you always want to set your left hand up to be in the position of the chord that you're playing in. G stuff is second position. C stuff is first. F stuff is in first. A is in second. D is in second. G is in second. Right? So, because I don't know if I want to do this. And every time I reached out for that 5th fret, it's because I was in second position and I was able to reach it. But if I was back in here, I'd have to do one of those, a classic neophyte, slide up and get it real quick if you're lucky. So I didn't want to do that. All right, so I always set myself up in position. When you go through the second line, pay close attention to those shifts, okay? And then apply the same thing on the last line. Let me run it all the way through. I'm wanting to do my little finger wanted to. Now it was a Popeye song. You know, a cool thing with this one, it was originally done as college hornpipe in B flat. Oh. That's pretty neat. Okay. Any questions that you see on this one? Questions, comments? Okay, guys, use this week to catch up on everything. We're off this coming week. We're going to start back the following week, and you'll jump in the 103. Okay. Unless you want to, now, there's nothing wrong if you don't feel like you're comfortable doing that, just repeating this one. The songs will be the same, but the banter and some of the stuff we do on the side will be different. And that's the way all my classes work anyway. I have some that do some classes 3 or 4 times just because they want to get more comfortable. Anyway, we'll hold it here. You guys be safe this week. Stay in and we'll get done with this thing. The more people stay in, the quicker we're going to get done. So just stay in. All right. Thanks. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. It was a great 6 weeks. I had a great time with you guys. You guys are fun. Okay, let me throw that hand down. If there's any questions there, throw it back up there, okay? All right, we'll hold it there, gang. You have a great couple weeks. I'll see you in 2. Thanks again. Okay, bye.